How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to TSUKIHIME. We have some crazy rewrite stuff going on here. However, it's a little different. So we've come across the person that we killed, who is now alive, and is also not human, but a vampire. And we also have this thing on the right that has been sort of, staring us down during our lovely back alley conversation here. So let's see what we got going on here. The woman looks perfectly calm, but I'm struggling to wrap my head around the situation. That's a panther, I know that much. Even a child would be able to tell you that, or what that animal is. But you wouldn't see one outside of a picture book or a cage in a zoo. And somehow here I am experiencing just how terrifying the beast is firsthand, all without anything to protect me. It stands on 4 lean, powerful limbs, muscle that seems as supple as rubber yet hard as steel. Its form is far removed from that of a human being. This is a creature built for the sole purpose of hunting its prey. Simply seeing it awakens primal instincts that should have been cast away in the Stone Age. We might both be living creatures, but this panther is in another league. Its superior abilities leave me breathless. It's not something I can put into words. This creature and I can't coexist in the same world, much less communicate with one another. The Black Panther's body measures over 1 meter in length. Even a dog that size could easily take down a human. And here it is, eyeing me and the woman in white, vicious claws, fangs, and all, with barely 5 meters between us. Can't say it is, ma'am. I can't help but snap back at something so crazy. I'm an idiot. As if taking my voice as a signal, the panther leaps in our direction. No, that's not right. It's running. But it's going so fast, I thought it had leaped at us instead. I can't do anything. The black blur's fangs will sink into my shoulder before I even have the time to process its movements. I can see it. I am keenly aware of how this will all end 1 second from now, but the thought of dodging or moving away doesn't even register. But the blow comes from my side instead. The woman in white shoves me away before the shadowy creature has the chance to bite me. An effortless swipe of her hand is all it takes, At her touch, I'm flung across the alley as easily as someone might throw a ball, and I go crashing into the wall. I grit my teeth as I slam into the wall back first. Pain shoots up through my spine. What? The woman shouts at me. I look up, expecting the beast to have crashed into the wall behind me. Instead, having lost sight of its target, the panther reacts instantly by spinning in the air and planting its feet onto the wall. From there, it leaps at the opposite wall. The creature latches itself to the side of the building. Just as it seems to have found its footing, it turns its glowing gaze at me once more. My breath is still caught after the chaos. The panther pushes off against the wall and leaps at me like lightning falling from the sky. The woman places herself into its trajectory, deflecting the oncoming bolt with a single hand. And she's even faster than the panther. Her slender frame even more graceful. It's frightening, unnerving even. I would just go for that anyways. The woman's disposition hasn't changed at all. As if heeding her threat, the panther cautiously backs away. There's around 3 meters of space between the two of them now. The panther keeps its distance. It must have realized the difference in their abilities during their brief clash. To a human, that panther is no doubt a monster, a beast that could easily slay any human it meets. But that woman is on a whole other level. A monster among monsters, a demon that could easily slay any monster it meets. The panther sits absolutely still as it observes the woman. Even I can tell how badly outclassed it is. The woman must seem like some insurmountable wall when viewed from the eyes of the apex predator.
要件は後で聞いてあげるから私の邪魔を。
The atmosphere around the woman changes. The panther hadn't rattled her in the slightest, but the very air around her seemed sharper than before. Oh shit. No, those aren't people. Those are monsters of the night, the dead. There's no mistaking it. A group of strangers is making their way down the alley. They're walking at a leisurely pace through the dimly lit back street, ambling right in our direction. I try to tell them a panther is on the loose. But as I do, red currents flash across my vision. I rub my eyes beneath my glasses. Just now Oh ho ho ho. Wow, those look freakish actually. Jesus. Just now I see something terrible. They keep coming. They possess neither the feral instincts nor the pride of the panther. Okay, these are more than just zombies. These are really demon-like. They lurch forward, completely disregarding the woman in white, as well as the fact that another few steps forward will doom them. But why would they? These creatures have no brain to think, nor a heart to feel fear. They aren't alive. They can't be. They're engulfed in flame, black smoke billowing from their eyes and mouth, and yet they keep moving forward. They're dead. They have to be. Their hands are outstretched as if they were seeking salvation. But from their fingertips drips a thick oil. The drops of oil splash into tongues of flame as they hit the ground. Even from this distance, I realize that the oil-like substance must be their stagnant blood. The woman in white focuses her attention on the things before her. Two of the three cadavers reach for her. Cadavers, sorry. The last one turns in my direction and leers at me with its burning sockets as I stand there dumbstruck. It's got me. The panther uses the fatally short window to strike. It's even faster than the last time it leaped. This time, I didn't even register it moving. The panther bears its weight against me, as if trying to push me over, and runs its incisors down my neck. A tightness grips my throat. There's a constricting sensation at the nape of my neck. It's not my skin, though. The collar of my school uniform is being bitten and pulled. I'm pushed against the wall again. I've been dragged into a dark corner of the alley. The panther roughly presses me into the heaped piles of garbage. What am I even doing? I'm berating the panther as it has me pinned down. But for whatever reason, it decides not to follow through with its attack. Perhaps the beast realizes that it has bigger problems to deal with. Hidden behind some of the waste, I sit up and peer over at the woman. The smoldering dead are brave enough to get within 3 meters of the woman, a feat even the panther dared not try. And the moment they do, they're gone. The very air wails in agony. The burst of wind from the woman's arm slicing through the air cuts through her targets like a bulldozer, leaving not a trace of the 3 bodies. My head hurts. It feels like tiny thorns are bouncing within my eye sockets, a painful red sensation jabbing at me like knives, like it were trying to deny all I had just seen. With a resigned shrug of her shoulders, the woman turns to me. She doesn't look like she holds the slightest interest in the corpses she's just eradicated. The woman boldly walks over to me as I sit half stunned on the ground. The panther is long gone. Yeah, wait. What did the panther try to do there? Or did the panther actually try to do anything with us? And, you know, who threw us into the garbage? I don't know. Things got a little weird there. It must have taken one look at the scene just now and decided it wanted none of it. That the woman was simply far too strong.
おい、今の、なんだ?
My headache is concentrated behind my eyes. The pain searing through my cranium seems to be throwing off whatever part of my brain controls my speech. What the hell is this woman?
何ってただの死者でしょ?
Oh yeah, just your regular everyday.
敵の吸血鬼の使い魔よ。ちょっと珍しい。というか、初めて見るタイプだったけど。
そうじゃない。お前の話だ。
The sharp stinging in my head is begging for some sense of normalcy. She's a monster. The out-of-place panther, and those impossible flaming corpses. Even they appear perfectly grounded when compared to her. Through a flick of her arm, this woman made a gust of wind with the power of a tornado. Such a monster couldn't coexist among us frail humans for a second.
私? だから吸血鬼だって言ってるじゃない。あれ? もしかしてあなた、吸血鬼って単語知らない？ここじゃ一般教養だって聞いたんだけどな。
For such a powerful monster, she's pretty dense. But I can take advantage of this window to force strength into my trembling limbs. That fight just now led her away from the alley entrance. If I run with all my might, I may just have a shot at escaping. If I do take a deep breath. Oh shit. Is she okay? Just as I'm about to start running, I catch a glimpse of her face. For some reason, I suddenly feel calm again.
おい、どうした？怪我でもしたのか？
怪我なんて、そんなのするわけないでしょ。あんな呪いのにやられるなんて考えたこともないわ。でも、ちょっとまずい展開になってきた。こうなったら是が非でも、あなたには盾になってもらわないといけないみたい。
は?
That's right, we were just talking about that nonsense. Earlier, I thought that she might have been speaking metaphorically about the whole meat shield thing. But now I'm not so sure anymore. She sounds dead serious. She actually wants me to act as her shield against panthers and flaming corpses and who knows what else.
バカなこと言うな、このバカ！今の見てたろ。俺に何ができるって言うんだ。お前一人の方がよっぽどマシだろうが。
そうでもないわ。今ので本当に空っぽになっちゃったから。あなたたち風に言うと、生きてるだけで精一杯みたいな。
Is that how it is? It doesn't look like it at all, but sure. Honestly, I'm half glad that what I just saw was a last-ditch effort and not something that she could shake out of her sleeve at any time. But that's not the issue here.
精一杯とか言われても困る。そりゃ、できることなら何でもする。でも無理だ。無理だろ、どう考えても。俺にはあんなのを追い払う力はない。悪いけど、盾にだってなれはしない。
嘘よ。あなたは私を殺したのよ。そのあなたが、どうしてそんな嘘を言うの？
殺したって、あれは。
So I've been thinking about that whole situation where it sort of seemed like he was in a bit of a trance. So I highly suspect the substitute teacher, the new homeroom teacher that's filling in for the one that died, the one that tried to, like, you know, flirt with us or whatever the fuck, the one that, like, gave us that ominous warning, we don't want to end up like her or whatever. So we were obviously in a trance after that, and then we were in a different trance whenever we came across this person. It's like some switch flipped, and we just had to kill her. It's as if the other vampire that is here was able to get to us first, get that switch installed, in order to actually kill this woman right here. I don't know if it is the teacher necessarily. There could be some more enemies here working in cahoots, but there is some oddities going on here for certain. When I killed her, it was like I lost myself. I would help her if I could, but the kind of help that she's asking for is way beyond anything I can do.
なら私が眠っている間、周りを見張ってくれるだけでいい。それくらいなら問題ないでしょ。
I can't help but feel myself weaken before those eyes. I will help her, or we can just say, nope, I'm out of here. Now we'll help her. Why not? I mean, we kind of already do owe her because, yes, we did cut her up. You know, it wasn't really our intention to do so, but it did happen nonetheless. So, you know, maybe the least we can do is still help her out. But I do wonder what would happen if we say no. You know, like, I'm sure this is like the whole point of the route is this woman. Like, she is the center point of this route. So to say no would to kind of, you know, maybe lead us to a bad ending. I'm sort of thinking about like the first bad ending that you can get from Fate. Fate Stay Night, that is. And, you know, basically saying, no, I don't want to participate in the Holy Grail War gets you your first bad ending. You're backing out of basically what is the entire first route. So yeah, we'll help her out. I just can't say no to her request. I killed her. It's my fault that she's weak enough to even seek help from some nobody like me. Besides, we might have only just met, but I get the impression that she's not a bad person.
ねえ、どうなの？人間のあなたとしては、やっぱり吸血鬼である私には協力できない？
そりゃそうだろ。
Please, don't look at me with those eyes. The guilt will eat me alive if you keep doing that.
けど、乗りかかった船だしな。ここで知らんふりするのも寝覚めが悪いし。
I already know that I'll regret this later. But even so.
何より、相手はあの通り魔殺人の犯人なんだろ。なら、この町に住んでる人間として、お前の手助けぐらいしないと罰が当たりそうだ。
Yeah, she does state that she's trying to do a good thing here for this town. She's trying to help out. You know, there has been some killings going on here, some strange stuff. And, I don't know. Should we trust this person that, you know, comes at us with these strange abilities? This person that we accidentally killed and cut up into 17 pieces and is now standing before us? Why not, you know? It's better than turning a blind eye to her stupidly sincere gaze.
それってつまり
The thing is, I think we're involved whether we like it or not, and it's probably better to be working together than to, you know, try to work apart.
盾になるのはお断りだけど、見張りぐらいはしてやるってこと。
The fuck was that? There she goes again. What's with that expression? What, happiness? If this was a game, I'd be calling foul. Just look at her, coming back from the dead, creating tornadoes, and now this?
よかった。これで契約は成立。
She extends a hand to me.
やっと自己紹介ができるね。
Oh yeah, what is her name?
私はアルクエイド。長い名前だからアルクエイドだけでいいわ。
I don't even know how to pronounce her name. I'm gonna be honest, what the fuck?
神祖って区分けされる吸血鬼だけど、あなたはなんていう人？
Okay, so Arcueid? Is that how you pronounce it? Arcueid? I don't think that's right. But I'm gonna have to roll with it. Comments, please help a brother out. That might be the strangest self-introduction I've ever witnessed. I sigh. Either I've accepted my insane new reality, or I just don't have anything left in me to argue.
当の式。あいにく、ただの学生だよ。前もって言っておくけど、本当に何の役にも立たないからな。
I take the woman's, Arcueid's hand. She peers at me intently for a moment, and then offers her hand again for a shake.
それじゃあよろしくね、シキ。私を殺した責任、ちゃんと取ってもらうんだから。
You gotta love the stories that involve really wicked situations. She grins wickedly, her left hand outstretched, more so like the circumstances that lead characters together like this. I must be the first and last person in the world to be repaying someone for their own murder.
ほんとどうかしてる。
You're goddamn right. But what else can I do? Against my better judgment, I shake hands with this mysterious vampire, this woman in white. Yeah, whenever this character first popped up and we, you know, straight up killed her and everything, you guys in the comments were like, the white woman is here. And I'm like, because she's wearing white or because of the color of her skin here? Like, what do you mean? Oh, I know this song. What the fuck? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Guys, I've heard this song like for years. This is where it's from? Oh my god. I feel really dumb. Yeah, I listen to weeb music and whatever else comes up on my Spotify. That was a beautiful opening, by the way. That was so well animated and everything. Shut up, we're talking right now. Yeah, that was just a really fantastic opening. Honestly, like, I was kind of watching that with like a big old smile on my face. I don't know. Like, have I been missing out on these, like, these games here? You know? Like, have I just completely been missing out on peak visual novels? I know that they've always been around, and I've always seen, like, sprites of the characters and memes and all these other references to these titles that I've just never really paid attention to because I never jumped into them or anything, but have I really just been missing out on Peak? Wow. I feel kind of dumb, but I do feel really happy to be jumping into this, you know, how I am. It hurts a little bit more knowing that I can't record the other route in this game, but at least we can go through this route together, guys. So let's make the most of it. Alright, who's talking here? A voice echoes in the darkness. The air is damp. The rotten smell that lingers in the air is eye-wateringly rancid. It's too dark to see a thing. It's driving her into sensory overload. She can't remember what happened to her a few minutes ago. She can't remember where she is. She feels like she hears the voices of men in the distance. She feels like she came here of her own volition. If she thinks hard enough, she thinks she remembers taking an elevator. As the elevator descended, she was suddenly struck with the horrible realization that this wasn't just some goofy urban legend, but a dark and dangerous truth that she shouldn't have stuck her nose into. Part of her recalls desperately mashing the emergency stop button. But that was then, and this is now. Humans cannot turn back the clock. Time's arrow is asymmetrical. One may traverse the arrow from left to right, but never the reverse. In other words, by the time the girl realized her folly, she was already in hell. And there's no getting out of hell. Fearing the dark, the girl presses her hand to the wall. Rotting juice coats her fingers. It stinks of spoiled meat. It gives way to her touch. Through her tears, she realizes it must be human viscera, but she cannot bring herself to pull away. Her fingers must trace it to find her way forward. There is no other way to navigate this darkness. She cannot escape the steady footsteps, that have been following her for some time now. She really fell into the Saya no Uta area, huh? She has no choice but to follow the path, her expression distraught as her fingernails scrape through the slimy guts. With every step, she swears that she hears the metallic cries of something grinding and twisting across itself within the walls. Yeah, that sounds healthy. No, this all sounds great. It's hard to believe screams like that could come from another human being. The whales are so desperate that they might rupture their throat and lungs, yet these people have long shed any such concerns and now simply howl into the abyss. But there's little that can be done about their bodies now. Limbless, they are suspended from the ceiling like a mass of bagworms. She ignores the pleas of those who are beyond saving and continues to run. She just needs a light, any light. If she had a light, she could escape. There's a goal you have to reach. That's what the men who guided her down here had told her. They laughed when they said it. So there has to be an exit. She believes it's the only way she can save herself. She knows it's a lie, but she needs to cling to hope if she is to maintain any semblance of sanity. She looks behind her. That's right, she knows that she's not alone here. She came here together with her boyfriend. That idiot was the one who suggested it. It's because of him that she agreed it might be, fun to try. It's all his fault. She hopes that he dies. She hopes he dies soon. She hopes he dies before she does. She hopes his death might lead to her escape. She hopes she'll be the only one saved. She's the special one after all. She didn't do anything wrong. There's no reason that she should be suffering. This should be reserved for those who are stupider than her, those that are dirtier than her, or those who are luckier and more blessed. This has nothing to do with her. She's always been good. She's lived a normal life. She's always been normal. This misfortune should fall upon someone else. The faint darkness fades. A blackness, dark and deep, takes hold. The girl standing in the middle of it all stares down at her burning body. The appendages that used to feel her way along the wall have burned all the way down to her elbows. When she frantically looks at her body, she realizes her clothes have burned away. Her skin has turned black and charred, cracking to reveal the sinew and organs hidden beneath. The fat on her flesh sizzles and burns with a flame red and hot enough to captivate her gaze. Thank goodness, the woman thinks, laughing to herself. Finally, I've finally found a light. She cackles a flaming whoa, hold on now. My brain almost froze up there. An anatomical model taken with madness. A torch of flesh providing light in the darkness. Then, a sharp stab puts her out of her misery. Her body burns as boiling blood spews from the wound. As if savoring the warmth of her body, it drinks her flesh. Her fresh blood? Did I miss a word there? Whatever. This hell returns to total darkness. Having finished its minuscule meal, it crosses through this masterless hellscape. Behind it are countless corpses, a river of flame indiscriminately swallowing all who wander the wasteland, whether they be lost humans or the cemetery's dead residents. Breath spills from its lips like smoke. It shambles toward the surface, leaving behind a trail of red in its wake like a twisted slug. I'm trying to think. This voice actor may be one I've heard before, and if it is who I'm thinking of, then oh yeehaw. It craves the prey that its footmen discovered mere moments ago. Well, I have no idea what the hell happened there. Nothing good, though. I'm sure we can all agree on that. Now what do we have going on? Where the fuck are we? Whoa.
割といい部屋ね。
Yeah, decent is a little bit of an understatement.
これなら一晩過ごしても文句ないかな。
Arcueid looks like she's enjoying herself as she inspects the hotel room. Again, please let me know how I'm saying that name. Am I way off the mark? Do I need to say it a little better? I think I need to pay attention to whenever they say her name and try to copy that. I have no words for how this day has turned out.
それで俺は何をすればいいんだよ、具体的。
とりあえず移動するわ。私の部屋は守りには向かないから。そうね。見晴らしのいい高いところに行きましょうか。
And here we are. Yeah, here we are. Arcueid hailed a taxi on the main street and we drove over to one of the neighboring city districts. From there, we didn't just book a room at one of the most prominent and expensive hotels around. No, Arcueid decided to book the entire top floor just for us. I feel like some A-list celebrity. So she just has the money.
高い高い。人間の建築技術ってほんとめきめき向上するわよね。こういうのなんて言うんだっけ？一発千金？日進月歩？まあどっちでもいっか。ほら見て見て式。さっきまでいた路地裏があんなにちっちゃくなってる。
Arcueid happily peeks through the shut curtains at the panorama below. I can't say I'm as excited as she is. And this place feels less like a hotel room and more like a standalone citadel that happens to be built on the hotel's top floor. From the sun-blocking curtains to the furniture, to the materials of the walls and doors, every last bit is grander than anything you'd normally encounter. And since we rented out the entire floor, we won't be seeing any other guests. Upon closer inspection, I noticed that there's even a TV screen that displays an active feed of the first floor lobby. No matter where I look, I'm reminded that this room is reserved only for the most privileged of people.
今夜はここに隠れましょう。あ、宿泊費のことは気にしなくていいよ。
Okay, I was gonna ask, like...
私お金持ちだから、おごってあげる。
Okay, there it is. Arcueid speaks cheerfully as she steps away from the window. As amazed as she seemed by the view a moment ago, it appears that she's already grown tired of the bird's eye view of the city, so we have to watch over her while she sleeps. Is that like a day thing and then we go home? Because, like, we have to go home. We cannot get in more trouble there as we already are in.
Arcueid, お前何考えてるんだ?
Okay, I think I'm maybe pronouncing her name correctly based on how Shiki just said it. An exhausted sigh slips out of me.
何って別にいろいろ考えてるけど。
いや、そういうことじゃなくてだな。男とホテルの一室なんて。
I pause before I finish my sentence. I'm only here to watch over this self-proclaimed vampire while she sleeps. I shouldn't say anything that might complicate it even further.
いや、いい。好きにしてくれ。
変な式。いきなり怒ったり黙ったりして予測がつかないね。
Arcueid chuckles as if something's hilarious about the situation. Meanwhile, I'm standing near the door, muscles tensed as I keep a watchful eye on the room. Watching her relax, I realize we couldn't be more opposite from one another right now. Fatigue has spread through every inch of my body. I wish I could rest, but I also know that the second I take a seat on that sofa, I will doze off. No matter how tired I get, I know better than to let my guard down now.
式、何か飲む？ここ飲み物がたくさんあるみたい。
A carefree voice calls out to me from the minibar. Needless to say, the bottles Arcueid holds up are filled with alcohol.
あのな、未成年のくせに酒を勧め。
I stop. I have no clue whether she's over the legal drinking age or not, and I don't particularly care to find out either.
後で自分で選ぶからいい。それより。
No matter how exhausted I am, no matter how confusing the situation might be, there are some questions I have to ask her. I need to know what she is, and I need to know how much danger I'm in. I can't even afford to sit on the couch if I don't at least attempt to understand all the weird things happening here.
それより、お前に聞きたいことがある。のんびり休むのはその後だ。
構わないけど、どうしたの？急にかしこまって。
You do realize I haven't let my guard down even once around you. But that aside...
真面目な話だよ。結局のところ、お前の目的って何なんだ？
私は吸血鬼を追ってるだけよ。吸血鬼殺しが私の役割だから。
ああ、確かにそんなことを言ってた。けど、お前は吸血鬼なんだろ？
何？仕切ったらまだ私のこと信じてないの？
嫌っていうほど信じてるから安心しろ。俺が言いたいのは、どうして吸血鬼であるお前が吸血鬼を殺すのかってことだ。それおかしいだろ、理屈的に。
I mean, if you think of it in the sense of like a human going after another human, maybe you can kind of accept it a little bit. Like, you know, law enforcement going after a criminal, or a criminal trying to go after another criminal, stuff like that. It's still human against human.
あら、四季は同族同士で殺し合うのは嫌いなんだ。
同族じゃなくても願い下げだよ。あのさ、吸血鬼は人間の血を吸う鬼なんだろ？なら殺す対象は人間であって同じ吸血鬼じゃない。お前が殺すのは、その...
I think this is a valid question. Humans, right? The ones whose blood you suck?
吸血行為と殺害行為は別物よ。ま、それでも四季の言いたいことはわかるわ。同じ種族同士、助け合うべきだって言うんでしょ。けど、吸血鬼は同じ親から派生したものであっても、それぞれ異なる進化を遂げた固有種のようなものだから、人間でいうところの仲間意識は希薄なのよ。
じゃあその、お前が探している吸血鬼は...
ええ、私とは別種の吸血種。私が追いかけているのは人間の吸血鬼だから、あなたたちが抱くイメージとほぼ一緒よ。
Oh, interesting.
人間の血を吸って吸い殺した人間を使い魔にして、
Okay.
少しずつ勢力を増やしていくってやつ。朝の使者覚えてるでしょ？あれが吸血鬼に殺された人間の末路。人間として死んだのにまだ死にきれず生かされている。
That's kind of what we just saw in the previous scene. And I guess that's, you know, the difference with her is that she's a vampire through birth. She wasn't somebody who became one.
死んだのに生かされている。
Those corpses I saw in that alley. In stories, it's said that those who get their blood sucked by a vampire get turned into one as well, attacking other humans in turn. That's how they propagate and spread. If this goes unchecked, then a whole town could be turned into a stronghold for the living dead.
ええ、この町に潜んでいるのはそういう吸血鬼。私は血を吸うことに執心はないし、彼らの仲間でもない。だから、互いに殺し合うことに問題は発生しない。
Okay, this information helps. Arcueid states the words matter-of-factly. I guess there really are all kinds of vampires out there.
今更でゾッとするんだけど。
It's also crazy to, you know, believe that there are vampires out there.
そいつをやっつけるから俺に盾になれなんてことを言ってやがったのか、お前。
ええ、初めはそのつもりだったわ。あなたなんて嫌がっても盾にしてやる。逃げても鎖で縛り付けて散々怖がらせて使い切ってやるって。
Oh, fun.
けど、四季と話をしているうちに気が変わっちゃった。
So she was planning to take me by force. Don't think I'll be forgetting about that.
気が変わったってなんでだよ。
私の勘違いだったから。私ね、四季。あなたに殺されて復元するまでの間、あなたは教会の人間だと思っていたの。
The church.
それなら敵の居場所を掴んでいる可能性もあるし、戦力としても期待できるなって。なのに仕切ったらまるっきり普通の人なんだもん。敵の棺の場所はおろか、吸血鬼のことをまるで知らないし。
Yeah.
そもそもあの連中がこんな無神論者の国に代行者を派遣するわけがないし、そもそも一人じゃ動かないものね。師匠と弟子のツーマンセルがあいつらの基本だったわ。
Arcueid mutters to herself as she paces around the room. She's gotten so sidetracked, it feels like she's forgotten all about me.
とにかく、私の標的はあなたから吸血鬼に戻ったってこと。それはそれで、ちょっと残念な気もするけど。
She manages to say such a terrifying thing in the cheeriest of voices. Shit, she definitely hasn't forgotten what I did to her. I certainly deserve to be despised for murdering her, but it's still bad for my heart to hear her talk so lightly about killing in turn. Maybe she really does intend to kill me the second I let my guard down.
真面目な話は終わり？じゃ、ベッドにドーン！
は？
And to sleep she goes. Before I even get the chance to react, she's off. Arcueid bounces over to the bed and plops down onto the soft mattress.
気持ちもいいし、日が沈むまで眠るね。あ、シキも今のうちに休んでおいた方がいいよ。吸血鬼は昼間活動できないから、本格的に見張りをしてもらうのは夜になるんだし。
Okay, but we still have to go home, right?
お前、今自分の存在を全面否定するようなことを言ったって分かってるか？
私はいいの。
Uh-huh.
と、そろそろ限界みたい。それじゃあおやすみなさい、シキ。日が沈んだら起こしてね。
おい！
Arcueid falls asleep so abruptly, it's as if someone turned off a car engine. Well, now what?
マジか。
I can hardly believe it, but she's actually asleep. I feel like an idiot for staying next to the door this whole time in case I needed to run. Is this okay? I mean, I'm one to talk, but is she really okay with this? I was practically taken here against my will, but now I could just as easily run away. And don't tell me she's forgotten, even if I don't feel the same impulse now.
俺は一度、お前を殺しているんだぞ。
So how can she doze off like this with me around? It'll be okay. She is a really pretty woman, by the way. Like, she has been, you know, her character design is really nice, I do have to say. It really does stand out. But we will wrap it up on that note. I am out of time, so we'll, I guess, see how the rest of the day is going to go down, because, yeah, we kind of have the weird situation of, like, what do we do about our schedule, right? Because we kind of have to get home at some point and, you know, remain there. So this is going to get a little interesting as the two worlds clash and all that, but I dig that shit. I really do. I'm in it to win it. Or lose it. We'll probably lose it. But thank you all for tuning into this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.